Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The day before the election, candidate Trump came to my state for his only rally during the campaign. And let me tell you what he said. He was standing before a large crowd, and he accused Democrats of planning to, quote, import generations of terrorism, extremism, and radicalism into your schools and throughout your communities. Here in Minnesota, he said, you've seen firsthand the problems caused with faulty refugee vetting and large numbers of Somali refugees coming into your state without your knowledge, without your support or approval, and with some of them joining ISIS and spreading their extremist views all over our country and all over the world. I can't begin to tell you how angry those comments made me. To see candidate Trump hold his only rally in Minnesota at an airport where about 1,000 Somalis immigrants work, Somali Minnesota immigrants work and earn a living, refugees, really. And to stoke that kind of fear and hatred was an insult, I believe, to every Minnesotan. It was offensive, it was irresponsible, but it wasn't really surprising. Candidate Trump made scapegoating immigrants and refugees and banning Muslims from entering our country a centerpiece of his campaign. Now, some of his advisors tried to spin or walk back his comments on the so-called Muslim ban, but you, Senator, no, you said that the idea was, quote, appropriate to discuss. And in June, you said, quote, we must face the uncomfortable reality that not only are immigrants from Muslim-majority countries coming to the United States radicalizing and attempting to engage in active terrorism, but also their first-generation American children are susceptible to the toxic radicalization of terrorist organizations. You said that our nation was, quote, has a, quote, unprecedented assimilation problem. You know, Senator, part of what makes that assimilation challenging is when people seeking to lead this country exploit fear and anxiety and redirect that fear toward our immigrant and refugee communities. Right after the election, my office got a call from a middle school teacher in St. Paul. Her school has a very sizable population of Somali American, Somali Minnesotan kids. Now, they're smart kids, so they've been paying attention to the election, and they were terrified. The teacher called my office and said, please, please have Senator Franken come to the school and give them some assurance. These kids did not know what to make of a country, their country, electing a leader who describes them and their families as worthy of hatred and suspicion. So I did my best to alleviate their fears that day. I told them, you're Americans. I said, you kids, you're Americans. Don't be afraid. And a couple weeks later, I talked to the French ambassador to the United States. I said to him, tell him, who's defined as a Frenchman in France? And he said, somebody who can trace back a couple centuries to their family in a French village. Well, these kids are Americans, and we consider them American. And what we saw in Paris, and what we saw, which was caused by Belgians, is because they take that attitude in Europe. We don't take this attitude, and it's dangerous to take it. One of the most beautiful events I've been to was the graduation, high school graduation in Wilmer, Minnesota in June. And I invited myself there because one of our pages, our Senate pages, was from Wilmer, and she's Somali, a Somali Minnesota girl. And I saw her on election day. I was at the University of Minnesota. She graduated, went to the University of Minnesota. She told me her sister, her younger sister, was named the Wilmer Homecoming Queen. In Europe, they don't assimilate people. Here in the United States, we vote them homecoming queen.